What is going on, everybody? Today we're looking at the Jada Toys Ultra Street Fighter 2 figures of Dhalsim and Bison. So both of these look cool. Of course, more characters to go along with all the others we got so far. So first we have Dhalsim, which looks pretty nice. So he's from India and a yoga master, so looks pretty nice. Love that he's got his stretching ability with his arms and legs, so that'll be really cool. Always a character I like to play as when I played Street Fighter 2, but looks pretty nice with his nice background there from this level. So looks pretty nice, and there he's all posed up, so he looks cool. And then we have, of course, our main bad guy of Bison that's putting on the tournament, so looks pretty nice. Again, his background in there comes with some extra pieces for like his shoulders, of course, effects for his hands, the extra head as well. Just overall looks pretty nice for him, and then pretty basically posed up there on the back, but still looks pretty cool. So I'm excited about these two figures to continue on with our Jaws Street Fighters. So let me get these open out of the box and we'll take a look at them together. Well, let's start off with Bison, who was a would-be dictator and megalomaniac with the ambition to control the world's government through his Shadaloo crime syndicate. He's the host of the fighting tournament in Street Fighter 2 and the final boss of the game. And if you didn't know his origins from Japan, he was originally called Vega, but they ended up switching around the names of Bison, Vega, and Balrog. So Bison looks pretty cool here. Of course, nice to have our big bad of the game, so looks pretty awesome with his design. So he's got like this sort of like captain's helmet, as I say there, with the wing design, and probably the logo for the Shadaloo would be my guess on his hat there, where he has this like sort of maroonish color. It's like a dark red color. I don't know exactly what you'd call it, but it matches with the hat with a blue stripe around it. And then of course the black for the bill there. We get his face with the all white out eyes, and of course angry looking face there with some of his hair sticking out from under the hat. But then we get his outfit again in that mostly all red color with blue around his collar, and then down the front, so it's all like zipped or buttoned or whatever. Black belt around the waist with like a lightning bolt logo there on the buckle. We do get some gauntlets here on his arms, so nice silver gauntlets, and then down his leg he's got some of the puffier pants in the red color all the way to the guards there on the front of his boots. He's got black boots that come up to his knees, and then nice metal guards there on the front of them as well. And then as we see hanging off his shoulders, he does have these big silver shoulder pads with a cape hanging down off the back, which is cool. So we get this nice fabric cape. It's got a nice texture to it. I don't know what kind of material, just like a more stiffer. It's kind of like crunchy up and stuff, but it has a nice wire in it as well. So you can sort of get it bent up and posed up, whatever you want to do with it there, which is pretty nice as well. So movement-wise, we had the head that twists all the way around. As you see, it's more, looks like the neck is twisting, but the actual head's got the two joints, so the head itself can twist around, and then the neck also twists around. So nice with those joints, and then it can look down that far and up that far. So really good range in the neck there. We get the shoulders that do come up to 90, has the butterfly joint. As you see, it's nice. The shoulder pad moves with that and everything. So that, and then of course can rotate around within there. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint. That's a little stiff, unfortunately, but can bend up at least that far, which is good. With the wrist that'll twist around and hinge back and forth. Then we can go to the ab crunch, so he'll crunch back and forth and twist arm, just very little, pretty much nothing, but it is there. And then at the waist he'll twist all the way around, and it feels like, yeah, he can also crunch back and forth at the waist. Then we go down to the hips, that'll come up to 90 and out to the side, so nice that this material is nice and soft and gets out of the way. Thigh twist all the way around. Then the double knee joint that can bend up that far to the back, kicking himself in the butt, so nice range. And then we get the foot that'll flex back and forth and twist side to side. So pretty good movements as usual with these Jadas. They have pretty good range. They could be a little bit better, like especially, the double elbows could reach a little bit further and get bent up, but besides that, it's hard to really complain too much about it when they have as good as range as they already do. But accessories, we do get an extra head, so we can switch out with a more angry head, which of course from Bison makes sense, so let's do that. We get some extra hands, so he's got two fists on, and we get extra hands with the more claw-like hands for posing up and stuff. I don't really know how I want to pose them up like yet, so we'll just leave it and maybe put it on later. And we also get an effect for his hands of his powers. Now he's a self-taught psycho power fighter style, so we get an effect for his psycho crusher move, so we get this nice purple effect, like fireball effect, that can go onto his hand. So we like just say, let's put it on his left hand here, so it just goes over his fist and sticks on there to do a big punch. And I think he like flies through the air and possibly spins or something at people, but we can sort of put it on his fin like that to sort of pose him up there. And then we do also get pieces to switch out his cape, so we get these extra shoulder pieces, and now it does come with some instructions on how you switch them out. So as you see, you just sort of kind of like pop them off and pop the new ones on. So if you don't want to have the cape on, you just take this, you grab more to the back and sort of pop off, and the cape's attached to these ones, so you just pop these off again, pull them forward there, and then we replace them with the new ones. So you just got to get in the right position, and you start from the front and then push back, and they'll clip right on. So there he now has the shoulder pad still, but doesn't have the cape. So if you don't want to have the cape on there, which I think I like the cape more, so I'll probably end up switching it back. But just for now, we can have it without the cape. So there I just tried to pose in Bison up a little bit with his punch, getting ready to do his Psycho Crusher move. So overall, looks pretty cool there for him. Bison, like I said, you can switch out between no cape or the cape on this, which is cool. Again, I'll have to like switch them out to see which one I think I like more. And at least it's cool with the cape that it does have the wire in it, so you can sort of pose it around whatever you want to get it to go along with his move. But just so we can see the height side, of course, I do have him sort of posed up here, so it won't be full height. But here he is with Ryu as well. So he's taller than Ryu, like with his hat, especially there. So even if he was standing up straight, he would be much taller than Ryu as well. So just to have our two main characters there with our good guy and bad guy sort of facing off against each other. So that is pretty cool. And overall, awesome to add in Bison. Of course, always nice to get our big bad added to the collection. So nice to get him with this. And then we also get Dhalsim, which was an Indian pacifist and master of yoga. He fights only to raise money for his village, even though it contradicts his peaceful beliefs. But he has the ability to suspend himself in the air and extend his limbs for ranged attacks. Now, Dhalsim was always a character I like to play as a game just because of his stretchy arms and legs, and he looks pretty cool here, like the design. Since he is from India, he does have the darker skin tone, which is nice, so the really nice tan skin. He is bald, so no hair or anything, but he does have some painting on him, so some painting on the top of his head, coming down to like the little dot there in white, and some painting under his eyes. Again, the all white eyes. I love how he has the link pieces or whatever. So he has them in his ear, so like earrings there, and then he has them around his hands as well. So pretty nice. They included those in there as well. He does have necklace with skulls around his head, which I believe are supposed to be the skulls of children from his village that died. You know what he's fighting for. He has some pants on, just some pretty basic pants, probably almost like a burlap sack design, with tied with string around his waist and some wrappings around the wrist as well, all the way down to the wrappings just above his ankle, and he's barefoot as you can see there. So overall looks pretty nice with the design, but what's really cool is the more the effects he comes with. But for movements, the head will twist all the way around. There you can see the neck's one to twist there. So the head twists on the neck, and then the neck itself does twist as well. And then you can look down that far and up that far. So again, really good range with both of those joints. We get the shoulders that come up to 90 with the butterfly joint back and forth. That'll rotate around. We get the bicep twist and the double elbow joint. That's also stiff on him and can bend up that far. The wrist will twist all the way around and hinge back and forth. Then we get the ab crunch, so he'll crunch back and forth there, back and forth, and twist very little, pretty much nothing. Then at the waist, he'll crunch and twist all the way around. Then we go down to the hips. That'll come up to 90. Out to the side, he can do the splits. Has a thigh twist up in the pant leg there. The double knee joint, that'll bend up that far to the back. Well, not too bad. And then we also get a shin twist just above the wrappings, and the foot will flex back and forth and twist side to side. So although he's not wearing as much clothes, it doesn't seem that he has the best range overall. He does have good range, with the hips being able to fully do the splits, but most of the characters do. But other than that, not the best range, even though he is skinnier and has no clothes to get in his way. But still works out pretty nice, no major complaint for that. Now, accessory-wise, he does come with an additional head. So we get a head here, which is cool, a nice, like, yelling head, which I know part of his powers, at least I'm pretty sure, is that he breathes, like, fire out, or can shoot, like, fireballs or something. So I wish he would have had that, but we get no fire effect, unfortunately. But let's switch the head out. There, at least we can have him yelling for fighting. We get some additional hands, so hands with like the claw-like hands once again, which is pretty cool. So we can switch those out if we don't want to have more of like the karate chop hands. But like I said, with him, what's cool is that he has the effects to extend his arms and legs. So we get extended out arms, so arms that stretch out with the fist on them, and then also with the legs. So we can make him really like tall and long arms if we want him. We can switch these out. So with those effects, we can make him a really tall guy with the extended legs and arms, and there's what he looks like, which looks ridiculous, of course. But with that, he doesn't stand up because of the way the feet are designed. They're always like curved. Now, there is bendy wire in it, so we can obviously get the legs to bend and everything with the bendy wire, and I assume the arms do as well. So yeah, we can have the arms and legs bent if we want them, but they're not enough to be able to keep him standing or anything. You have to put him in a stand or something to keep him up, but it looks pretty cool with that there. But let's switch them out and try and get him in a pose with his fighting, maybe like his legs out or something. Now, one thing I always liked in the game, like he would always like could do like a crouch down and then he'd punch. I feel he'd like sort of twist to the side, almost like the Dragon Ball fusion dance, but he'd go to the side and like extend his arms out like together as one, like do like a double punch there, which of course I doubt we can really get it to do with this. But yeah, I'll just probably figure something out, maybe with like a kick or something. So they switch back to just with the extended foot. And he also does come with a piece so you can actually put his leg in it. So it's a stand with a little U shape. So you can use it for his hands or his legs if you want. You can sort of stick in it to help keep it up in the air. So you can do like that. So it keeps his leg up in the air and keeps him standing, which is pretty nice. And again, you can switch out and do whatever you want. Do arms or legs, whatever. Just sort of get him posed up as you see. And of course, we'll go ahead and bring in Ryu again just to see the height difference. So he's about the same height as Ryu there. So not much different than that. So probably about the 6-inch height for that, which is pretty cool. So like I said, really cool to add Dhalsim to the wave. Always a character I like playing as I said, and really nice to add him into our shelf. And with both those figures, we can set up a little fight scene with Bison facing off against Dhalsim. So both of these figures are really cool. Really like their designs. Cool that they came with their effects for their powers as usual, with Dhalsim stretching and Bison psycho powers. So Jada did a good job again with their Street Fighter characters. So let me know what you thought of them down in the comments. And if you enjoyed my review, let me know with that thumbs up. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to see more. But I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you all stay awesome out there, and I'll see you in our next review.